What's up? It's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. I have been diving very much into making plushies and amigurumi lately, and I've really been getting into designing them. And if you're new here, I really cannot stand chenille yarn. It's just like a sensory thing for me. Like it makes my skin crawl a little bit. So I thought it would be fun to test out a bunch of different types of fluffy and plushy yarns that aren't chenille, in case any of you are kind of in a similar boat to me. So to start with, some honorable mentions. I have learned that I can tolerate skinny chenille. I've got a couple of different kinds that I've tried. I've got this Yarn Bee Baby Bee Soft and Snuggly that, oh, I forgot I made this little octopus plushie with a while back. This stuff is actually pretty good if you're making anything like jellyfish or octopi that have curls to them. I have found that velvet isn't stiff enough and it doesn't hold up, so the skinny chenille does still have that stiffness to it, so the legs will still kind of stay in place. I also grabbed the Loops and Threads skinny chenille. I wanted to try a couple of different brands to see if there was any real difference. I haven't noticed any, although this stuff comes with tons more. I just finished last night this little mini version of a teddy bear that I designed a long time ago, actually. He still needs eyes, and I'm gonna make him a little beanie, but it turned out really well. These definitely are not as fluffy. I think the Loops and Threads might actually be a little bit less fluffy than the Baby Bee. I will need to size down in my hook the next time I do this, because there are definitely some visible gaps, but I'm keeping this little guy, so that's okay. My other honorable mention is velvet. I think that's kind of a given for a lot of people. I know for some, velvet and chenille are the same. They're not. They're different. I wanted to test out a few different types of velvet because we don't know if we're getting Juicy Couture back or not. So I went on Amazon, and it's kind of tricky because they have, if you type in velvet yarn on Amazon, a lot of them say chenille, but they're actually velvet, or they will say chenille and velvet in the yarn listing. So the first one I grabbed is this brand Indun Velvet. It's really nice. I haven't done an entire plushie with this, but I've done a few different like accents to things with it. It's really nice. It is a little bit thicker. It doesn't shed too bad. This one I think comes in quite a few colors too, so I will definitely be getting this one again. This one I love. It is Joy Tag. It says chenille yarn, but it is velvet, and you can kind of tell. I don't know how close I can get this. I feel like velvet is a little bit more shiny, whereas chenille is more matte. And chenille tends to be fluffier, but velvet you can usually kind of see where the seam is, and then the fuzzes kind of go to either side. This rainbow one in particular, I love. The little rainbow chunks are really short, so it switches colors a lot. And I made this little bear, and it has this kind of like tie-dye effect. The last one I tested out is Hobie's Bohème Velvet. The only problem with this stuff is I buy the double, which is like the thicker, and it's still incredibly thin. But it comes in a bunch of colors. The skeins are pretty small, but that's actually really perfect if you just want to make like one or two little plushies. So I used actually this stuff and the Indun Velvet to design this little cinnamon roll. This stuff turned out really cool. So those are all the plushies that I already have finished. The stuff that I am trying out that's brand new to me that I'll kind of be working on throughout this video. This is I had to cake it up because I started something with it. This is the Bernat Forever Fleece. I really like the feel of this stuff. The only issue is I don't have any stores that carry this near me. I have to get it shipped from Walmart, and it's pretty expensive. And it's like Walmart's other sellers, so they don't even sell it at my Walmart anyway. So I do really like it, but it is hard to find. This is the Lion brand Feels Like a Dream. I have not tried this stuff before. I like the Feels Like Bliss yarn, although it is very slippery and kind of hard to work with. This stuff feels a little bit more like grabby texture, so it might not be as slippery. It's very thin, but I like the color and I think this one could be fun. This is the Bernat Fluffy that I have started something with. This I like. It's the softness kind of reminds me of the Forever Fleece. It sheds a little, but not too bad. This is more easily accessible for me. They do carry this at my local Michael's, but it comes in a bunch of colors that I don't see in a lot of other stuff. So I really like this stuff so far. And then lastly, just for fun, I decided to try the Loops and Threads Faux Fur. I don't know what I'm gonna make with this yet, but I've heard that this stuff is hard to work with because it's so furry, but I just saw it as a challenge and wanted to see what I could do. So I'm going to be working on some of these plushies throughout. I'll take you along with me, kind of give you my thoughts as I go. Today I am hoping to maybe finish up this. He kind of looks like a robot right now. It's a little too square, but this is going to be a little like ragdoll monster plushie. So I might try to finish up this today and maybe get working on, I'm going to make a chicken out of the Forever Fleece. So that's what we'll get working on today. Okay, so I just finished sewing on the limbs. I know it doesn't look monster-y yet. My plan is I want to make some little like baubles. I don't know what you would call them. Some little like spherical thing. Here, let me get a different plushie I designed that I'm basing this off of, and it'll make more sense. I designed this guy a few months ago, and so I want to base it off of this and do these little bubble things with the Feels Like a Dream and put them all over this. It's gonna get the same like single eye, funny teeth. I also eventually want to make like sort of like rag dolls, so I'm also kind of using this as a template for those bodies as well. I did not put very much stuffing in the arms and legs because I wanted it to be like floppy. I did also finish my little bear. I just gave him a little beanie. I love his little tail. And then I did forget another thing I made with these two colors are the Hobie, I can never say the word right, Bohem velvet, and then this is the velvet from Amazon, but I made this little like ice cream sandwich cookie. Morning. It is the next day, and I did quite a bit of little like bits and bobs of work last night. I finished, which I believe you saw, got a little net hanging out on him. I finished putting on the arms and legs for this little monster. I started working on the little baubles. I do really like this yarn. This is the Feels Like a Dream. It's a little tough at first, like if you're starting with a circle, to kind of see where you are in the beginning, but once you get going it's not too bad, and I really like the fabric it makes. But I wasn't really sure about these two colors together for this, so I made one with the yellow, and I like that a lot better. So I think I'm gonna do its little, bubbles, I don't know, I need to figure out a name for those if I'm gonna make more of these, but I think just like the textures of the yarn make more sense together too, so I think I'm gonna do those with the yellow. I have a ton left, so that should be no problem, and I need to figure out something else to do with this. I have like 4 projects started at once, which is just apparently the way I do it. I can't seem to, I have to have at least 2 to bounce between apparently. So I probably look like I just woke up, because I basically did. Took a quick shower, and I'm gonna eat some breakfast and kind of get my brain straight for the day, and just I don't know, I will make some sort of progress on this myriad of things on my tables today, and I'll check in with you a little bit later. Alright, so it's been a couple days for me, more like a handful of days. I've been pretty sick for a few days, so I did a little bit of crocheting, but I didn't feel up to filming, obviously, and I'm not sure really where we were when we left off, so I'm gonna run through kind of what I've got going on. My desk, I don't know if I can turn this, my desk looks extra crazy right now because I've also been doing some laptop things, so there's extra happening on top of it. But I did decide to make another one of these like marshmallow pet guys out of the Feels Like a Dream. It's gonna get like horns instead of the little blob things, and I'm gonna do something a little different with the mouth. I really like the texture of this. I'm gonna do kind of like a final yarn review at the end, so I'll say more of my thoughts then. But this stuff is so weird. I think it almost kind of looks like carpet. Like the fabric it makes is really weird, but I really like it. I'm probably gonna keep this one or just make myself a little ball like this just to like hug it, and it's very nice and fluffy. The other thing, I'm actually almost done with this. I wanted to finish it last night, but I wanted to be able to like show you on camera. That's not a piece of anything. So this, the faux fur yarn, this stuff becomes so dense. Like I was playing with this last night. This is the body. I'm doing like a little realistic rabbit, because this stuff, do I have, there's so many like little furry pieces that I don't know what they are. I don't know if all of the yarn, like all faux fur yarn comes like this, but it's actually like multiple strands. It comes in 3, and so I had to do some experimenting to figure out like what hook size versus how thick would work. So I'm using a 6.5mm hook and 2 of the strands, and this, it does have a little stuffing in it, but this is like so dense. This is like a real ball. So this I think is more for like sculptural stuff. If you're going small, I think this would be really good for like a jumbo plushie. I actually think I might take the leftovers and make like either a rug, like a little rug, or like a scarf, so it looks like a fancy like faux fur, I don't know, like fancy lady scarf, or like a shawl. That's the word I was looking for. So this, I was trying to hold the head on. Can't even, it's so furry, I don't even, it's upside down. There's the nose. So I have all the pieces for this, I just have to sew them together. So that's what I'm working on today, along with trying to learn how to designing software for 3D printing stuff. So that's why the laptop's here, because I've been doing that in between. So I'll definitely finish the bunny today. I'm not sure about the monster, but that's kind of just where we are. I still have not started the chicken with this stuff, so I'll probably get that started today too. Alright, so here's my little bunny all put together. The proportions are definitely a little off. The feet are a little big. I did trim the fur around the eyes just so that they would stick out a little bit more, and I think I'm going to just get like a ribbon from my stash to put around its neck or something just to like give it a little more shape. It's definitely cute. It's very silly. I like it, but I don't know that this would be something I would make another one of. And then for this monster, got the horns on it. I was struggling trying to figure out what color and what like material to do the horns with. So the only colors I have left of the Feels Like Bliss are this blue and yellow, and neither of those really seem to fit, so I just pulled out my velvet stash. This is the Yarn Bee velvet, which is actually like a little closer to chenille, so it's not my favorite to work with it, so I'm trying to use that skein up, so that's why I went ahead and picked that one. I think I'm gonna wait and do the face tomorrow. I'm just kind of working on some other things just to take a break, but yeah, that's my progress for today. I also thought it might be fun just to jump in here and give you guys a little tour of my sort of updated setup. I am learning to design stuff to 3D print, and so I made these very rudimentary shelves that are just being held to the wall with thumbtacks, but they're working okay. And I've just been, like I think I said earlier, just diving deep into the world of plushies. These two, the hot dog and this rabbit, are patterns that I bought. I will link those down in the description for you. They're both just patterns I got off Etsy. Just to kind of practice, I want to start writing more patterns, and so I just wanted to see what other people's patterns looked like, but everything else was drafted by me. These are all like short versions of the shelves, and then these are extra long versions. My table's still kind of a mess, so I'm trying to avoid showing you that, but I just put a bunch of hooks in this shelf to hold all of my little tools and things I might need, and then I'm sorting charms that I got recently to make some more stitch markers. But yeah, I think it's really fun. I was inspired by Allison from Wonder Crochet and the way that she's got like her little plushie set up above her desk, and I thought it'd be fun to like change them out with the seasons. So now I've got my little amigurumi displays. Alright, so my plushies are all done. I figured I'd give you a rundown of the ones I finished and give you kind of my final review of the different types of yarn. So I finished my little yellow chicken. I usually make these in like variegated yarns, so I've not made one yet that is solid color, and I really like it. Very cute. I also finished, oh, he's still got a little bit of glue. This is this little monster. I wanted to do something different than the guys with the little bubbles on them, and I was trying out a different mouth style. So there's this guy. This was this one we finished. And then here's the little bunny. I put a little bow on her ears today. I love this one. This might be my favorite of the bunch just because it's so fluffy and like cute in a weird, not really correctly proportioned way. I love her. Would I make it again? Yes, if someone was gonna pay me for it, but it feels a little weird. Like, it's so dense. It's not snuggly at all. this reminds me of, like, I don't know what this like genre of plushie would be called, but like I feel like at antique stores you see ones like this that are like stiffer and meant to be looked at and not played with, which, like, if you're giving that to a kid, because I don't think adults of that age collected plushie things very often. I don't know, it feels like things I would see in like older people's houses when I was a kid, where I'd be like, oh, I want to play with that, and then it's like disappointingly not fun and soft. But I do think she's real cute. I'm gonna take her to work and put her on my desk so I can look at it all the time. So, okay, enough gushing about those. Let's get to the actual yarn. So, this stuff, this is what I have left, and then a little bit of the individual pieces. I was kind of going through this like yesterday when I was talking about it, but you do get a lot for what you pay for it. I do think it'd be great for something big, or for home decor pieces, or like a scarf or something. Like, it is fluffy enough that you could get away with using a really big hook, which I'm sure would make it much easier. Or even like your fingers. If you've seen people do like make rugs and stuff out of old t-shirts, and they'll just like use their fingers instead of a crochet hook. If you have the dexterity for that, definitely could work for that. So I would use it again, but it would need to be for something very specific. I think I said this, but I'll probably use most of the rest of this to make like pom-poms for beanies or something like that. This stuff, the label got a little crushed, but this feels like a dream. I really love working with this. I don't know if this is newer or not. I'm not exactly up on like what is new as far as yarns that we start seeing in stores, but I do know that Michaels is out of a bunch of the colors online, which, regardless if it's new, it is very popular. So that's kind of a bummer, because I would love to try some more. So I'm probably going to try to keep an eye on that and see when I can get some more colors. But I really like this, and comparing it to Feels Like Bliss, it's not as slippery. You actually, like, in this one, like, you can clearly see the stitch definition, which some people like, some people don't. And in a fuzzy yarn, I think it's just like the look you prefer. But a problem I have with the Feels Like Bliss as well is it's, I don't know if you would call it I-cord, but it like, it's corded. So when you cut the piece off, you could just like really easily pull, and the whole, like, the yarn itself will unravel. And so that's really annoying to deal with, because I kept having to take my darning needle and like kind of sew it together to keep it from accidentally fraying, and that was just kind of a giant pain in the ass. But it also doesn't have very many colors, so I don't hate working with it. Like, I definitely will do it again, but it also sheds a little bit. This stuff didn't really shed at all. I had to pull a couple things out, and like, that seemed okay. And I don't know, I really like this stuff. It definitely feels weird, so I could see that some people would not like the texture of this, but that's okay. This is the Bernat Fluffy. I really love the color range in this, and I do like it. I really like the way it feels. This guy is very like soft and squishy and fun, but oh boy, this stuff shed like a little bit while I was working with it. It wasn't too bad, but it was kind of like, okay. But then if I buy this again, I don't think I can make it into a cake. I'll have to roll it into a ball, because this was like the stuff was flying off when I was trying to cake it up. I had like a little layer of it on my desk. There was like a thin coating of it on my hand when I was done. Like, it cleaned up fairly easily, but it just, I don't like stuff that sheds that much. So I will use it again, but again with purpose and probably sparingly. This is the Forever Fleece. This one I do really like. I did find out that you can buy this on Hirschner's. I don't know if this yarn just doesn't come in very many colors, but I think when I looked at it, they didn't have a lot of colors available. But it's a lot better price on there than when I said like I found this at Walmart, so that is good to know. I do really like this, so I prefer it much more than the fluffy, but this is more available to me. So if I had to pick a favorite, I think velvet is still my favorite. As far as like finding things that you can get a good amount for the price, there's so much more color variety, so many different brands that make similar style stuff. Like you can get really thin stuff like this from Hobie. I've since starting this video tried another brand from Amazon that says it's chenille, but it's not, it's velvet. So I have a pile of yarn on the floor that says chenille, even though this video is about not using chenille, because it's actually velvet. But velvet is overall my favorite. My second favorite is definitely for things that look more fuzzy. It's gotta be the Feels Like a Dream. Both of these I would say 10 out of 10. Forever Fleece, I'm gonna probably give an 8 out of 10 just because it's hard to find. It doesn't have a lot of colors. I would say this stuff is probably like a 6 just because of how much it sheds. And I've found that, I guess this might not always be an issue, maybe not a point against it, but we like, long story short, we have like a storm door that we like to keep open during the summer. Bugs fly in when you walk out at night. We live near the dumpster in our apartment complex, so there's a lot of bugs outside, and they like make a beeline for the door whenever we open it. So occasionally we get a couple gnats and stuff up here, and they really love this guy. Twice now I've found like a little gnat that is just like hanging out on here, and that I don't like that. I don't want bugs to feel at home on my projects. So yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out for that. The fluff, did I give that a rating? I think I said a 6. The faux fur, a 4. This was kind of a pain to work with. The Feels Like Bliss, I'd say a 5 for 6, like it's fine. And then the Skinny Chenille, I think probably a 4 as well, because I still don't like the feel of it. It's tolerable, but I do love the colors. Like, I wish that velvets came in little speckly colors like this. Like velvet would be like a 12 out of 10 if you could get it in all these like fun rainbow colors like Skinny Chenille. So those are my opinions. If any of you, if you have other fluffy yarns that you tried that I couldn't find, this was kind of all I could find. So if you have other suggestions, please let me know. I would love to try them. Please share in the comments. Again, I'm not trying to hate on chenille, so if you're a chenille lover, don't come for me. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you liked it and you want to see more from me, feel free to subscribe. I post videos at least twice a month. I'll see you in the next one.